is the lovely Diane. Thank you so much, Jason, and thank you, Diane. And thank you to everybody for joining us for this general reading for all signs. Now, if you're watching this on a restream on YouTube and you don't want to watch me shuffle, you can use the timestamps right in the video description to get right to the reading. I'm reading today with this Medieval Tarot. This is a Lo Scarabeo deck. It's a lovely deck. And let's purify. I made this lavender cologne myself, but I put a link in the video description for a bunch of lavender colognes, as well as a link on how to purchase this Medieval Tarot, should you be interested. Like I said, this is a general reading for all signs, and it's for today, the 14th of June, 2023. Goes out to a lot of people, so if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, just disregard it because it may not be meant for you. In that case, check out the zodiacal readings for your own individual sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. All of those zodiacal readings are available for restream very easily on my website, ariels-corner.com, Ariel's Corner with a hyphen.com. If you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you'd like to give us a donation on YouTube, if you're watching live, you could use a super sticker or super chat. If you're watching on a restream, you could use a super thanks. If you're watching us on Twitch, please make sure you follow us on Twitch. You can watch on Twitch without any ads by subscribing to us there. If you'd like to give us a donation on our PayPal portal, you can do that by going to paypal.me/ArielGatoga. paypal.me/ArielGatoga. I don't use card reversals, just so you know. So you're going to see me flipping cards right side up. It's just the way I like to read. And that's just how it goes. We have a shop at arielscornershop.com. arielscornershop.com. We have all kinds of gorgeous merchandise there, including tarot decks. That's an affiliate store, which means that we make a small commission off of each and every sale. We appreciate your support, but mostly we appreciate you being here today for this general reading for all signs. So let's not waste one more second, and we'll give this deck a nice clean cut, and we'll see what's in the cards for everybody today, the 14th of June 2023. Okay, this is the hanged man. This is the Queen of Coins, and this is the Page of Wands. All right, a couple things with this here, this hanged man. Now, on one hand, you need to say no to yourself and to other people when you mean it. You have to figure out what no means no. And don't just go along with things either with yourself or with other people that you don't want to go along with. You are not bound to do what you don't want to do. You do have the right to say no. No is a complete sentence. Now, the other thing you want to be careful of too, and it's easy to do this, and the ego gets really sly and cunning about how it does it so that it's not always super obvious. Sometimes it's very obvious, is you don't want to play the victim. And I'm not saying that if you have been victimized that you should pretend like you're not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying be careful of, even in a very sly and cunning way, take on the role of like, oh, nobody ever listens to me and nobody likes me and nobody ever did, but be careful of that, because the reason why we do that is not for the reason we think we do that. We do that because the ego wants us to be distracted from our purpose, from doing what we're here to do. So if you notice any inkling of that in yourself, first of all, don't judge yourself for it, because it's a very human thing to do. You don't want to be like, oh gosh, I'm all about, where did I become such a whiner? How horrible. No, we are a race of whiners, the human race. I mean, we are a species of whiners. So don't worry about it. If you get caught up in that, it's really easy to do that. But when you do it, you can rise above the fray by saying, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to claim my power. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim of this world. I'm a victor in this world. So I'm going to turn everything around. I'm going to look at things from a different point of view. I'm going to realize that I'm seeing everything upside down. I'm going to put my foot down, and I'm going to say no when I mean no, and yes when I mean yes. And I'm not going to see myself as a victim, and nor am I going to let myself be victimized. Right? So please understand, when I say don't let yourself be a victim or see yourself as a victim, I'm not. A lot of times when I say that, when this card comes up, people misunderstand that I'm saying, oh, if you've been if you've been raped or something, it was your fault. No. That's not at all what we're saying. We're talking about taking on a role for yourself in your everyday life. Be very careful. I just caught myself doing that the other day. I was like, how come nobody ever blah 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 blah? And I'm like, okay, hanged man, let's put your foot down. You don't need to be hanging out in that kind of rhetoric, because it steals your focus. It steals your energy. It steals your time away from doing what you're here to do. So then I got busy, and that's what you're going to do today too. So it's saying that what you want to get busy involved in is nurturing your prosperity. Nurturing the things that bring the wealth into your life. Wealth comes from the root word that means good. So it doesn't only mean money. It can mean money, and it often does when it's in the suit of coins. But any sense of good in your world, anything that you find valuable, it's all about nurturing that. And you see why the ego would want to distract you away from that, because then you'll get happy, then you'll get successful, then you'll have all of these resources available to you, and you won't feel so separated anymore. And what the ego's programmed to do is to make you feel separated, to make you feel alone, to make you feel bad, to make you feel like you're paralyzed, and that you have that you live in a scary, evil world, right? And again, the ego is not like Satan or something. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just a habit of thinking that we all have gotten into over the millions of years that we've been evolving. And so that's here, this thing too, this beautiful page of wands. Now, pages tend to be news. That's what the old pages were all about. They didn't have a postal service back in the day. They would tell the page, go tell somebody such and such, or give them this letter. And so then what you're getting now is the letter about your career or about your work in the world. You're getting good news about some creative work or job or whatever's important to you. Everybody's so different. Whatever's important to you in regards to the work in the world. And you can see how he's dragging this wand around as he delivers this message to you. And the message that's being delivered to you is one of good news. It's one of good news. And another reason why the ego wants you to say, get all obsessed with how nothing ever works for you, or how nobody ever appreciates you, or whatever that happens to be, because that way you're not going to notice this little message for you, which is your career can take off, your work can take off. Things are really going to work for you if you follow these instructions that you're receiving. Now, what are those instructions? Well, it's going to be so different for everybody, but some of you are going to just get inspired. There's going to be some inspiration if you're open and willing to receive this news. You're going to be, inspired. It'll be really easy for you to figure out, one foot in front of the other. You'll know what to do in regards to this project or that job or whatever. You're going to just follow your inner guidance and just get right to the success, which is part of this nurturing process. For others of you, it's going to come in like somebody is going to come and tell you something or give you good news. For others, it's going to be omens, or you're going to just chance to read a particular book or a blog post or something that leads you in the right direction. But you're going to be open and receptive to that guidance and realize that regardless of the channel that guidance comes to you from, the source of that guidance is infinite intelligence. So infinite intelligence is not the source of the knowledge that you might be getting from yourself. That's how come nothing ever works for me, or how come I'm always blah 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 blah, whatever that rhetoric is of the hanged man that many of you may be finding yourself in. So the fastest way out of that rhetoric, like it's saying here, is to nurture your resources, to nurture your assets. So before you can nurture an asset, you have to take stock of what your assets are to begin with. So take out a piece of paper, especially if you're feeling this hanged man energy. Take out a piece of paper and write down what are the things that are your assets. What is working for you? What is your good? You know, you might have at least a little bit of money. You might have, there's some good in your life, right? So you're going to make a list of all the good in your life. Now, how do you nurture that to make it grow? And that's where this good news is going to come in, because this has to do with work. And you're going to get all kinds of ideas and all kinds of instruction on where to go and what to do and how to make this good grow as you nurture it. You feel like you're like a gardener with a green thumb, nurturing all of your good, all of your wealth. Okay, we've got a, what do we have? Oh, we've got the Four of Wands. This looks like the Emperor. Is that the Emperor? It says 4. Okay. Emperor, and this is the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords is connected to this Hanged Man card. This is the energy of the Hanged Man projected outward. So this is what you can expect if you don't nip this in the bud. There's cause and effect. You know that if you hang out with this Hanged Man energy long enough, then you will prove it to yourself. If you say over and over again, why doesn't anything ever work out for me? How come I can never catch a break? Nothing ever is good. All of those kinds of things that you might be saying to yourself, you can expect the results of that, because that's how powerful you are, right? But the opposite of that here is this, you could make a new choice. This Four of Wands is bringing you good news. Well, what's the Four of Wands? Getting off the tree and getting busy, getting yourself together. Every time you start thinking, oh no, nothing's ever working for me. When you do that, don't feel bad about yourself. Again, don't make yourself wrong. It's part of our human condition. Just notice it. Just say, oh, I'm doing the Hanged Man. Okay, cool. What do I want to do instead of doing the Hanged Man? I'm going to be proactive. I'm going to get my work together. So this Four of Wands is usually, let's finish unfinished projects. Another thing you can make a list of. What are the projects that I haven't finished that need to be finished? Let's take one of them and finish them today. Or is there something in my workspace that's out of order? Or if you're looking for a job, is my resume in order? Do I have all of my references together? What do I need to get in order in regards to my work in the world that is a better use of my time than thinking about how nothing ever works for me? Okay, and when you do that, look at the switch in the, if we're looking at these two trajectories, this Hanged Man energy gets you this, whereas this Four of Wands gets you this good news. And right here, what we're dealing with in the center is this equilibrium, this equalizing force. This Emperor is just you accepting the executive powers of your mind and realizing that your life is your empire. Now, emperors don't need to be hanging from a tree feeling bad about themselves. No, emperors need to get together with all of the other leaders in their empire. In this case, there's the Queen of Coins, and work together for the common good. And the common good meaning all parts of your life. And so instead of spending a lot of time feeling bad about yourself or about your situation, you're going to get proactive and busy and nurture. You're going to figure out what all of the good in your life is, and you're going to nurture it one bit at a time. And that's how you're going to turn things around for yourself, literally turn it around. Now, you may want to listen to that Hanged Man meditation that I have. It's called Using Your Sacred Power of No. It's a good one for you, and I would recommend it if you have time today. It's looking like it can be a good future if you decide to use your time wisely rather than spending time contemplating how bad things are. So be careful of how you're using your mind. I think you're going to do really well, though. We'll be back for another reading tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you to the amazing moderator team, Jason and Diane. And we'll see everybody tomorrow. Get busy. Blessed be.